What the deal, everybody? My name Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so. You know it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it. Boom!
Last weekend, Kendrick Lamar was announced as the headliner for Super Bowl 59's halftime show. And because nothing happens anymore without internet discourse, everyone and their mama had an opinion on it before the ad was even over. A lot of this discourse centered around whether or not the spot should have went to Lil Wayne, and in this video, we gonna dissect it all. But first, I gotta remind y'all to like and subscribe. Supposedly, according to the YouTube gods, if I don't say it, y'all not gonna do it. So I'm gonna say it again. Please like and subscribe. If you've already subscribed to this amazing channel, you've noticed that I've been gone for a while. What can I say? Life's been lifing. God thinks I'm one of his strongest warriors. I keep trying to tell him I'm not built for tough, but here we are. But that's not why y'all clicked on this video. Y'all clicked for facts, and that's what I'm gonna give you. So let's get on to the video.
Catch me when you see me, greet me.
Okay, so boom, let's break this down. The Super Bowl halftime show isn't your typical performance. The Super Bowl is the most watched TV broadcast in the US every single year. Companies spend millions of dollars just to play ads during the shit. So you best believe a lot goes into putting it on. First things first, the NFL has to pick where it's going to be. And that happens 3 to 6 years in advance. And keep in mind, the Super Bowl is also the biggest live show of the year. So picking the city that's going to get to host it is a whole process. It's not just based off vibes, because this is going to bring in a lot of money for the city's local businesses, but it's also going to make a lot of bills for emergency services, extra security, shit, even the infrastructure of the stadium if it needed. The NFL starts by going to the teams who go to their cities, who try to figure out whether or not they want the responsibility. From there, the NFL weighs out their option based off of plans that they already got in place for years to come, plus shit that they've already done for years past. From there, a group of 11 people that make up the league's fan engagement and major events advisory committee narrow it down to a few cities that the 32 team owners get to vote on. The main reason for why a lot of people wanted Lil Wayne to headline the Super Bowl next year is simply because it's gonna be in New Orleans next year. And as a huge Weezy fan myself, I was definitely one of those people. Now, of course, we already know this isn't the first time the Super Bowl has been to New Orleans. When I was doing research for all this, I actually found out that it's one of the cities that's hosted it the most next to Miami and LA. A lot of people were questioning why all of a sudden fans were screaming for Wayne to do it next year when they were pretty silent in years like 2013 when Beyonce did it. And that brings me into my next section, how the headliner is even picked. For the first decade, the halftime show was strictly college marching bands. It wasn't until the 90s that they started bringing popular musicians in. Since the audience is really broad, spanning across race, age, and gender, the league has to make sure that the headliner is someone that they think that the majority will enjoy and at the very least have heard of. And for a very long time, it seemed like pop and rock were the only two genres that the league thought fit that bill. But for the last couple years or so, the show has been, if you will, mad ethnic. And we have Jay-Z to thank for that. Back in 2019, Jay-Z and Roc Nation partnered with the NFL, becoming their official live music entertainment strategist. And Hov received a lot of backlash for taking this position because he was admittedly the loudest supporter of Colin Kaepernick with his whole situation with the NFL. I'll spare you the deep dive as that's a video for a whole nother day that I'm fully down to make. Let me know down in the comments. But regardless of what you or I think he should have did in that situation, because of that deal, we got our first hip hop focused halftime show in 2021 when Dr. Dre headlined and then brought out Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Anderson .Paak, and Kendrick Lamar all as special guests. So for everyone who's asking why fans were screaming for Lil Wayne to headline back in 2013 when Beyonce did it, or back in 2002 when U2 did it, well, that's mainly because no one thought rap was an option. But times have changed. Before Rock Nation, the NFL treated the headline selection process like your regular everyday job treats hiring new employees. They talked to 3 or 4 different artists all at the same time, wait to see who was interested, and then from there pick the best person from that group. Jay-Z pointed out how this was burning a lot of bridges in a very short time. In his words,
4 artists right here. You take 4 artists and everyone thinks they're playing the Super Bowl, and it's almost like this interview process. And I don't think that anyone, so I picked Chuck, the other 3 people are a little upset. That's not even good math. After 3 years, 9 people are upset and 3 people played. There ain't that many superstars in the world. You're gonna run out of people that want to play. And I just think the process could have been
It definitely could.
a little bit more definite. This person is playing. If this person doesn't, conflict is not, the schedule doesn't align, then we move on to the next person. You pick someone, you speak to them, you let them have it, and then you move on. And I think that, and let the artist be the artist.
which is kind of like duh, at least you would think, right? But hey, common sense ain't always common. Going back to the job interview comparison, let's say if you, and I mean you, yes you, if you applied for a job, you did the interview, you think it went well, but you never get a call back. Come to find out, somebody that you know who applied for that very same job got it instead of you. Would you apply for that job when the position opened back up? Because I know I surely wouldn't. Since the Rock Nation deal, they have the whole city present a short list of potential performers that the NFL and Jay-Z go back in and pick from. For example, for Super Bowl 58 that just passed, right? Usher had been doing a residency in Las Vegas and was bringing in a lot of money and attention to the city, so he was at the top of their list. The NFL and Rock Nation loved the idea of a Usher halftime show, and boom, we got a Usher halftime show. With this information, I think it's safe to assume that Kendrick was on New Orleans' short list of potential performers. So why wouldn't the NFL and Rock Nation go with him? Especially after the events of the last couple months. Like, guys, let's be so fucking for real here. It was too easy. Kendrick is fresh off of a flawless victory with his battle against Drake, and Not Like Us has been everywhere since it dropped. His image is clean enough for middle America, while at the same time, he represents black hip-hop culture. On top of that, Kendrick has already shown he's more than capable of handling a performance on this level, since he's already done it when he was a featured guest back during the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. Although it definitely would have made the moment really special for Wayne, it's never been a requirement to be from the host city to headline the Super Bowl there. And for all we know, Wayne was an option to headline, and for one reason or another, just wasn't picked. And you know what? That's okay. Wayne posted a video where he talked about how he was hurt when he first found out that he didn't get the gig.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about, it hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. And so it hurt a whole lot. But y'all Y'all are fucking amazing. It made me feel like shit not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like shit, you guys reminded me that I ain't shit without y'all. And that's an amazing reality.
To me, it didn't sound like he was mad that Kendrick got it, just upset that he didn't. He fully acknowledged the fact that he got his own hopes up, and I respect him for that. I've seen a lot of people online speak on how they didn't like that he said something, either because they thought it was corny, thought Wayne was trying to play the victim, or simply because they think a person at his level of stardom shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Personally, I didn't mind it at all, because at the end of the day, the man is still human. He's allowed to feel his feelings. So if he wanted to share that with his fans, so what? I've been a Weezy fan since the Weezy Wednesdays vlog days, so that was nothing new to me. Plus, Wayne is a huge sports fan and has a great relationship with the NFL and ESPN, so maybe that played a part as to why he thought he was going to get it. Regardless, I just hope that one day we do get that Lil Wayne Super Bowl moment. Like, I mean, him rising from the stage, double cup in hand, lighter flick. I want it so bad. Comment down below if you with me. Now, this last part I'm about to speak on is honestly fully speculation, but we cannot ignore the elephant in the room that is industry politics, because it's always involved, some way, somehow. Again, this is all speculative and unconfirmed, so we all gonna have to put on our tinfoil thinking caps for this one, alright? Now, personally, I don't think Lil Wayne wasn't picked to spite him, but I can definitely see a possibility that it was done to spite Drake. Think about it. If Wayne were to headline the Super Bowl, he would most likely have Drake as a featured guest, since that is his protege. The NFL doesn't have anything against Drake, but we all know who does, or who did, or who may. We all know that Drake and Jay-Z had their back and forth in the past that we all thought was squashed back in 2018 when he featured on Talk Up from Drake's Scorpion. But rumor has it, the Carters are not on the best terms with Drake right now. Supposedly, Drake bit the idea for Honestly Nevermind after he was brought in to work with Beyonce on Renaissance. You see, Drake would have known that the album was going to be house music. So, to get ahead of the wave, he rushed and put out his album before she dropped. This way, he wouldn't get overshadowed by her rollout, and most importantly, he'd be able to say that he did it first. It doesn't help that Honestly Nevermind was a surprise release, and when the album got mixed reviews for that same dance vibe, Drake responded by saying that it was fine that we didn't get it yet.
It's all good if you don't get it yet. It's all good. That's what we do. That's what we do. We wait for you to catch up. We're in here though. We caught up already. On to the next. My goodness.
Which kind of feels like him telling on himself without telling on himself, because not too long after that, Beyonce drops Break My Soul, and people were indeed eating it up. We all know Beyonce is a super private person, so even if all this was true, she's not the type to publicly call Drake out or no shit like that. But she did do something interesting that added fuel to the rumor fire. Out of nowhere, she dropped a remix to America Has a Problem that features Kendrick Lamar. And if you've heard that song, you know it sounds like he's taking shot after shot at Drake all through his verse.
Truthfully, I be lying in my rap song, cause I always felt a mission I slap homie. His career didn't come with no life insurance. Hope his day one fans got some facts on him.
Kind of an odd thing for Beyonce to let happen when she's usually such a neutral party, right? But hey, I'm just theorizing. But if this theory is true, it would give Jay-Z a reason to not want Drake to get that opportunity. And I don't even want to get into the issues that Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z have, because she also would be someone who would most likely make a guest appearance during Lil Wayne's set. At the end of the day, Wayne ends up with the short end of the stick in this scenario through no fault of his own, which I think is pretty whack, to be honest. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do want to say, when the announcement first dropped, I was pretty hyped because a Kendrick Lamar halftime show is going to be lit. But then I immediately thought, damn, Wayne didn't get it. Because like I said in the beginning, I was one of those people that initially wanted Wayne to do it because it was going to be in New Orleans. Then I quickly got over that because I was like, hey, there's a chance Kendrick might bring Lil Wayne out as a special guest. Kendrick loves Wayne. Like, y'all know that video of Kendrick Lamar screaming, no, nigga. Did you know that's a video of him telling Wayne that he can't retire?
Bitch, got the juice, nigga. We off the juice right now, nigga. Live and direct, nigga. Vibing like a motherfucker, nigga. Nigga talking about retiring and shit, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. Retire, quit and rap, whatever you want to call it, nigga. Fuck that, nigga.
So yeah, why wouldn't it happen? And then I had to come back to reality and remember that there's a whole Drake situation that makes it more complicated than that. So yeah, now I'm at the place where I highly doubt that it's going to happen. And, you know, that's okay. Kendrick is still going to put on a crazy show that I am still very much so hyped for. And these people, they still rich. Me and you, we still got regular problems that we should probably be more focused on. So I think we should remember that it just ain't that deep, y'all. If you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and give it up for yourselves. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor and like
Other
it.
content.
If you want to join the tribe, subscribe to the
think
channel.
Kendrick should
We got
start off
home
with.
cooked meals and
I'm
lighters
putting
that
my
never
stock
die
in
on this
Element.
side.
For
Follow me
now,
on all
drive
my
fast,
socials
take
at
chances,
JB
and I'll see you in the
where
next
I
one.
post
Surprise, surprise.